Oh boy. Hello, this is Tia and welcome to another video. Today we're doing another theory video. This one may or may not be longer than the other ones I've done because it looks, for one, I have to explain myself a little bit because, yeah, a lot of things have changed, as you can tell from the title of this video. This is not clickbait. Just for you to know, I am actually going to look into what I found and explore whether or not it's actually true. If you don't believe that this theory is true or there's something I missed, let me know. You know the drill. Anyway, be sure to share this with anyone who might be interested and, have fun. Anyway, Hit the Target's true backstory. Is it actually true? It's a lovely world theory. We all love a lovely world theory, don't we? Yeah, we have a quick overview. Basically, everything, how I figured this out, how I found this, and all that stuff before we get into the story, and then to the theory of whether or not it's actually true. Well, I found the story basically while scrolling through Hit the Target's official Twitter page. Link in the description. Not finding much until I went into the tweets and replies section. Here, I found a story from Hit the Target explaining why he was who he was and what truly happened with Gregory, Stampy's first dog. You ready for this? You sure? Alright, let's go right into the story. And yeah, let's get right into it, I guess. It's like I went through the comments to try to, the tweets just to see if I could find anything. But I couldn't find anything just by looking at the tweets. But when I moved to tweets replies, I realized there's something. Whether or not it's true or not, or stretched slightly, still remains to be seen. But we do have Hit the Target's point of view of what happened. Basically, based on Hit the Target's side of the story, he owned a family of dogs. 2 parents named Woody and Aroma, and a little puppy named Gregory. As Gregory got older, his parents had a fight which ended up with Woody leaving Aroma to take care of Gregory on her own. Hit the Target took care of the 2 of them, but watched as Aroma perished from depression after losing Woody. Gregory ran away that same day. Worried for Gregory's well-being, Hit the Target went to find him. He did, however, he noticed that there was an orange cat who decided to take him home with him. That cat he later found out was Stampy, who, as we all know, loved Gregory very, very dearly. Frantic, Hit the Target tried to find a way to get Gregory back, but unfortunately was too late when he realized that Gregory was gone, killed by a skeleton on Stampy's watch. Hit the Target blamed Stampy for killing the son of the dog he loved so much, and vowed to do whatever it took to take everything away from him, so that he would know how it felt to lose something so close. So, by stealing Stampy's dogs, Hit the Target believed that he could take better care of them than Stampy ever could, and with the help of Viva Dash, who apparently helped him through some stuff, tried over and over again to steal Stampy's dogs. However, it doesn't match up with the story that we've seen from Stampy's perspective, since after all, we've only seen this from one side of the story. Let's get into the theory now, shall we? To start off this theory, we should probably consider how Hit the Target's story may hold some merits. Yes, Stampy did find Gregory alone in the wilderness and took him in. And yes, Gregory did perish under Stampy's watch. However, what Hit the Target fails to see is that the cat did care about Gregory as well, as much or even more than he did. For instance, after Gregory's death, Stampy planted a tree in front of his house to remember him by, and a heartless person as Hit the Target claims Stampy to be would not do that. Stampy built a doghouse to keep the dogs safe, and sure, there were accidents, but Stampy never meant to kill them, just like he said in Revelation. Unfortunately, as we all know, Hit the Target didn't care. In his mind, Stampy needed to pay for the death of his dog. But is this truly justified with everything that we see him do? My nose is very itchy today. We do hear a part of his story through revelation and saving the world. Both sides somewhat different and intriguing. Ugh. Hit the Target claimed to be saving the dogs rather than stealing them. However, he felt that the dogs would be better off with him than with Stampy, ending up betraying him in the first case. As for saving the world, we hear a grand speech from the villain himself of how he wants to strip Stampy from his power by taking his dogs away from him. Without his dogs, Stampy would be nothing in Mr. Dark's eyes. He would have gotten what he deserved, based on the villain's reasoning, if this was true. As we all know, the Target isn't planning to kill off the dogs. It would not serve its end goal, so it would take everything from Stampy. He obviously knows Stampy cares for the dogs, and uses that to his advantage plenty of times, including helpless, which makes his reasoning of stealing them all the more stronger. He still sees himself as better than him, even though his methods of doing so may not be the case. For instance, after he becomes Stampy's helper, he is known for actually pushing Stampy Goodnose off the tower, killing him. Whether that was by accident or not still remains to be seen. But from that point on, the villain is cautious about not harming the dogs unless absolutely necessary. Lucky dies at his hand as well, remember? And back in memories, he killed Barnaby. That would get time. He could take back time. So, it didn't really matter. Whether or not Hit the Target is lying or not, he clearly misunderstands the situation and won't listen to anyone else. He believes Stampy to be a murderer, not deserving of the dogs he cares for. He sees Stampy as an overlord, not letting the helpers do anything that isn't his bidding, even though that's completely further from the truth. He holds a grudge against Stampy for killing Gregory, when it wasn't even his fault. It was Gregory, trying to protect Stampy from the skeleton in the end. We don't know what was going on in the head of Gregory to make him choose to be with Stampy, rather than Hit the Target. Maybe the sight of Hit the Target reminded him of his lost mother, and the father who left him. Maybe he wanted to find a new life away from Hit the Target, not wanting the man to be reminded of the dog he had lost. Maybe he originally gave the man space, or just wanted his own time to reflect on everything he had lost. You have to remember, Hit the Target is a self-centered, ignorant, and somewhat oblivious villain, who only cared about what he wanted. He didn't think about what Gregory wanted, or see how happy the cat was with his dog. He only saw someone who stole his dog and ultimately murdered him. He took everything from Hit the Target, so he wanted to take everything from Stamp. Is this possible? Could this be true? When diving into the discussion, I can see how it could be very plausible. Viva calls him misunderstood, and she may be right. Hit the Target lost something and blames Stampy for everything. Stampy has zero idea this is a thing, and probably wouldn't believe it. However, if it was true, what would it change? Does this justify everything Hit the Target has done? No. Hit the Target has done a lot of things over the span of years, which is explained in the story so far, link in the description. At the end of Stampy's side of the whole thing, we can tell that everything that had happened to him has taken some effect on him. Does he truly deserve to be afraid of Hit the Target storming in to take his dogs and take over the world? Does he truly deserve to be trapped, attacked, or spooked by this man? Just because of one dog? If you want to think about it this way, you know the answer. Hit the Target may be telling the truth, to some extent. Truth is, though, both of them are at fault in this equation. For one, Hit the Target was the one who let Gregory run off in the first place. Sure, Stampy should have been more careful, but it had been Gregory's choice not to go inside when he was called, not Stampy's. Stampy didn't intentionally kill Gregory like Hit the Target believes. Gregory was just a loyal dog, defending his master. and we're here to the conclusion. So, to put this straight, there is a good chance that the target could be telling the truth, or his side of the story. He may be missing crucial points or over-exaggerating things. We can't be sure. In the story thread, I found there were comments that were removed. Can't tell if they were from his target or someone talking to him, but he is one that can pull the truth. This means that in some ways, we do not truly know our lovely world history. Stampy obviously has no idea about where Gregory came from, or whether or not he belonged to anyone, or whether or not his target's name is actually Gregory. That's a squishy theory, not my theory. Gregory wasn't wearing a collar at that time. So was Gregory truly loyal to his target? Or did he gain his trust to Stampy because he gave him something worth the dog's everlasting loyalty? Then, what did Stampy give him that his target did not? Maybe it was the choice to come home with him. After all, Gregory grew up in a home already with his target in charge. He was surrounded by parents who loved and cared for him. Yeah. Did his target care for him? Not enough in Gregory's eyes if he chose a cat over a bear. So whatever the story truly is, it definitely isn't what we might think it is. We don't know everything about the lovely world, no matter how far back we go, since after all, his target is right about something. We only see things from one perspective. So what do we do with this information? Do we believe his target is truthful, or is he pulling the truth to benefit him? What do you think really happened with Gregory? What about Gregory Jr., his long-lost son? How did he come about? Let me know, because I want to hear your thoughts about this story, and whether or not you think it has some merits. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.